Welcome to the 2022 Tour de Prairie here with your rider, Jason Souza, in windy but wonderful Cheyenne, Wyoming. It was a love-hate ride. Things I loved, the way I started my day with an espresso brownie, a homemade espresso brownie, and a Morton's caffeinated hydrogel. Things I hated, 23 mile an hour in your face headwind. Yeah, even the locals were unimpressed with this wind coming out of the north, which was apparently unusual for this time of year. So was this a race? Was it a ride? I don't know, but I am sometimes too competitive. And also with the wind, the way it was, I wanted it to be over sooner rather than later. So there was this rider, Al, who went off the front, and I went, cool, I'm going to follow Al. We did a little bit of chatting. I'm like, so is this pretty much it? We're riding this way until we turn around, we follow signs, and he's like, yep, there's not much else you can do but ride north along these straight frontage roads. So cool. The time in the upper left here, take a look. It's 2 hours slow, so it's actually almost 7 here. Still not a morning person. And it was chilly, 50 degrees. I'm glad I had my rain jacket. I was prepared for hot and perhaps rain, but not cold and not wind. So yeah, it was a fun ride. And anyway, Al and I were chatting, riding, enjoying life. He says, go left up here. Awesome. We both noticed that we've put a significant bit of distance between us and the rest of the pack. We're chatting.
The first 10 minutes? Great.
So much we missed the sign that says, turn right here. Oh well. Adventures, excitement, it's part of life, right? We realize our mistake. Actually, we hit a spot where we either get on the interstate or find a different way. And luckily, we found a different way. Technology is great. We were able to find this gravel road to reconnect with Yellowstone Road that we were supposed to make our way to initially. Al was much more prepared for this gravelly adventure than I was. My bike and my rear did not enjoy it. And my nerves. It was all good though. We eventually made it back to Yellowstone Road. We saw other riders again, which was great. So if anything, we just slowed ourselves down, especially when we stopped to navigate. You can see those riders up ahead. We did eventually catch them, pass them, make it to the 12, 13 mile rest stop. This ride was set up so you could ride 25, 50, 75, or 100 miles. I had my heart set on 100 miles. Other people rode varying distances. Some turned around early because of the wind. I was like, I didn't come all the way here from Alaska to miss out on the cup of chili in Chugwater at the 50 mile mark. So that's what was driving me. It was so nice to have somebody to ride with. And when the sun came out, it started warming up. Saw a sign to Chugwater. Things were looking up. Probably can't hear me, but about a quarter of the way, halfway to Chugwater, Wyoming, where apparently there's a bowl of chili waiting for me. About 75 miles left in the Tour de Prairie. Been fighting headwinds all morning. The winds are coming out of the north. We're riding to the north. Started off around 25 miles an hour. We're down to 15 now, which is great.
good times.
And my bike was looking extra special. This was at the turnaround for the 50-mile ride. Found this memorial to lean my bike up against to take a beautiful picture. But more riding ahead. Al was with me for a little bit longer. He was riding a metric century, so he turned around at about this point. Thanks so much for tolerating me, Al. It was great to meet you. Best of luck with everything you do. He was actually leaving Wyoming because of the wind. It's windy all the time, and he did not like that. So he was moving somewhere not that. Me, on the other hand, I was here for chili. I had chili on my mind. That's the thing that was driving me. You have to have goals, right? So you can imagine that when I saw this sign, I got pretty excited. It was there. There's chug water right in front of me. It's within my grasp. But the sign for the Tour de Prairie says go left. And the people in the truck on my left say to go left. They wave at me. They say, they cheer me on, which is great. But then I'm out here in the prairie. I'm going away from the chili. I did remember this little offshoot on the route map. I didn't recall it being quite as far as it was, and I did get a little bit nervous, especially I saw this graceful antelope bounding through one of these fields, and then it bound right into the fence and knocked itself over. And I wondered what kind of omen that was. The antelope was okay. It did get up and it kept bounding gracefully. So that's what I took from it. Just keep going. Still just be graceful and something will happen. So I just kept riding a little farther than I felt comfortable with, but eventually arrived at the 50-mile rest stop. Super excited. The people that were in the pickup waving at me earlier, they were the volunteers at that rest stop. They drove by and passed me at some point and were there, and it was great. Had one of the most delicious apples in my life at that rest stop. So here I was on the way back. They're like, go back to Chugwater and get your chili. Yes, that is what I'm going to do. So riding back, I did pass a few riders coming back. They were maybe 3 or 4 miles behind me, also doing the 100-mile ride. So I'm heading back, make it to Chugwater, for real this time. Go back down the street that I thought I was going down before and find Chugwater chili. I do have to say, everybody I encountered on this entire ride, so incredibly nice. All the volunteers, the people at Chugwater Chili that hooked me up with a cup of chili and all the toppings and some samples and a sticker. So visit Chugwater Chili. They're on Insta. Visit their website. You can order all their stuff off there. It was really good chili. And it's not just because I was riding my bike all day. It was really good. And that fueled me to go back. And life was great at this point. I have a tailwind. I don't have to pedal downhill. Just everything is going right. It's sunny. I was able to shed some layers. And yeah, I was making really good time back. So much good time. Coming up on the last 20 miles of the Tour de Prairie here in lovely Wyoming. It's beautiful. And I have a tailwind, which is nice. Super, super nice. 20 miles to go. Should be back about 1:30, I guess. I started at 6:30. Had some nice breaks in there. About a 7-hour ride. Not too shabby. Whew. But yeah, almost done. I'm gonna get the loader thing up and head to the airport. Peace out. So you can see the improved mood there from previously where I was really just faking it till I made it. Everything was great. I did realize after the fact that I forgot sunblock. I was actually at the airport the passenger getting on the airplane behind me said, "Nice sock line." I looked down, bright red to my ankle and then bright white. Yep, good times. But coming up on the last 12 miles here, the last 5 miles, I pass a rider who is completing the 75-mile course. Incredible. And even, 95 miles, you just feel, I'm basically there. I could round up to 100 now, but really needed to make it there. I had to stop and ask directions, but I made it. I made it to back to the park where I started, packed everything up under the heat of the sun. I was pouring sweat, but I had to rush back to the Denver airport where I did make my flight, returned my car. Everything worked out. Big thank you to the Super Day volunteers. All the food, everything was incredible. You guys made it rock. If you have a second, visit pedalfaster.club. Link right there. I make things I think are funny. Maybe you think they're funny too. Thanks so much for watching, and click subscribe. We'll catch you next time.